I'm Dr. Sushil Tahliani. I'm a practicing dermatologist with my clinics in the western suburbs of Mumbai, and I have got 38 years experience in practice. I'm attached to the various national bodies of dermatology and also to the American Academy of Dermatology and European Academy of Dermatology. I'm a president of the Nail Society of India. Today I'll talk to you about melasma and how I managed a patient with melasma. We know melasma as one of the common acquired hypermelasma on the face, which affects women much more than men. And we know that it affects women more than men because of the hormonal angle, which comes into play during pregnancy or when a woman takes a contraceptive pill or when she takes pills to postpone periods or at menopause. In addition, sunlight is one of the trigger factors. And it is due to hypermelasma due to extra activity of the tyrosinase in produced melanin in the affected areas of cheeks. In addition to the cheeks, it also affects the forehead near the eyebrows and nose and the chin. Uncommonly, it can affect areas other than face. Now, I saw a patient who was 46 years old. She was perimenopausal and she developed this pigmentation after having taken a short holiday to a hot climate with a lot of outdoor activity. When she saw it and she got worried with progression of the patchy pigmentation, she first tried putting a combination tube which had some hydroquinone, tretinoin, and fluocinolone acetonide. With this, she noticed irritation and itch, which made her give it up and seek medical opinion in my clinic. When I saw her, she had well demarcated patchy pigmentation, brownish in color on the cheeks, the malar region, and on the forehead close to the eyebrows and also on the nose. Now, in addition to this, she had a bit of scaling, which was probably because of subsiding irritation due to the previous product. So I first gave her an emollient cream to reduce the dryness, following which I prescribed to her a new combination which had 4-N-butyl resorcinol, kojic dipalmitate, mandelic acid, licorice extract, ultra-pure tetrahydrocurcumin, which we commonly call Sabivite, and nanobrite. This product was prescribed for her in the frequency of 2 applications a day. In addition, she was given a broad spectrum sunscreen which she had to put every 2 to 3 hours before sunset. And she was called for a follow-up after 4 weeks. At the end of 4 weeks, she showed significant improvement. And then I told her to continue for a further period of 4 weeks. And when she saw me again at 8 weeks, the lesions had almost disappeared. So this was quite encouraging result in a matter of 8 weeks. And besides, there was no sign of any irritation due to the product. And I told her to continue with reduced frequency of application, and I told her to continue with the photoprotection because we all know that melasma can strike back and it needs a maintenance therapy after the patient recovers. So now let me share brief insight about the therapy and the role of the cream that I had used in this patient. We all have been using hydroquinone for the longest possible time, but we all see a significant number of patients who develop irritation because of hydroquinone. Plus, a higher concentration overused can cause exogenous ochronosis. So the cream I had used does not have these irritations. 4-N-butyl resorcinol, one of the main ingredients of this product, is the most potent tyrosinase inhibitor when compared to hydroquinone and arbutin in various studies. It is the resorcinol derivative. Kojic acid dipalmitate has demonstrated excellent anti-melanogenic effect by its negative effect on the intracellular signals in melanocytes. Mandelic acid is an exfoliating agent. Ultra-pure tetrahydrocurcumin has proved to be as effective as hydroquinone in inhibiting tyrosinase, but without adverse effects like itching. So to conclude, I believe this topical demelanizing cream comprising 4-N-butyl resorcinol 1% concentration, kojic acid dipalmitate 4% concentration, mandelic acid 2% concentration, niacinamide 4% concentration, licorice extract 0.2%, nanobrite 0.5%, and sabivite 0.25% can be used not only in those cases where the hydroquinone-based products cause irritation, but it can also be used as a first-line treatment in patients with moderate to severe melasma. As we know from the various actions of various ingredients, it has an effective inhibition of tyrosinase activity, plus it also has an effective inhibition of transfer of melanosomes from melanocytes to keratinocytes. It is safe and effective, but we all should remember that combining this cream with a sunscreen is crucial to achieve the desired results and to maintain those results. Thank you.